people, I just watched Loose Women, I did, and I just see that Theresa May piss take when they were talking about her dancing like Emma, like that. And I see the one with Russell being post, so I said, I'm sick of listening to their sort of kind of sterile, clinical, PC, when the ratings are through the floor, you just have to do what you got to do. And I'm happy to move my jaw and talk to perfect logic, which is unanswerable, you can't argue with logic. Now, I think that once in a while someone comes along that actually does have perfect logic, and you just have to wake up and listen to him, and I just translate, which many, many, many other people have said in many other ways, but in a more common, personal way. See, Theresa May and Trump, Ching Mao Fat, Putin, or whoever the hell, I don't really pay attention to, because I think, like I said, when the ratings are through the floor, you should just, drop the show. Because really, it's just institutionalised insanity of landlords, They established what they established and went, we're going to make polls that make people tick, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And why the fuck are people even talking about Brexit anymore? Don't you just, go on holiday to Marbella and go to all the places in the world and go, well, we love each other, and we'll have our own little laws, and we'll make up our own things, and we'll try to just extinguish the thing that is fascism, or enhance to keep people on wages in a certain kind of the system. I know you listen to lots of Bob Marley and a lot of logic that comes with just relaxing in life or finding a better way of doing things. And that's what we're finding in life. I think people getting confused as to what the times are. They get a bit scrambled and people get a bit violent or whatever the fuck's going on. But see, back in the day when inequality was something people used to agree with, because they used to hear men in field, they've been raping their women and whipping us and it's not fair. And then Malcolm X comes along and goes, no! And then everybody listens, and everybody goes, well, we'll change that tide. Yes, we're prepared to listen to the ones in skirts who take on board hurt. Or women come through, because they never really come through, and they had the people in charge that used to wear the ties, like dogs on leashes, because they did the necks up, so they didn't actually really have an opinion, they were just bending it into suits, people just getting used. And what we want, really, is more empowerment of people. People just empower people, just happy, right? Ideally. And you haven't got to have the evolution of slavery is a birth certificate. Adhering to, your child goes to school, they get published with this information that just tells them about written history, doesn't tell them that the world was circumnavigated well before written history, that Africans were probably in South America, and there's a deeper, richer, beautiful, ancient culture that could point to the mysteries of civilization itself in pyramid culture and more, stuff like that. And I was having a conversation outside Wetherspoons about this girl was going, I really wanted to be a paleontologist, but now I work in Tesco. Whatever. We need Tesco's, we need shops. People do that and they just plod along. There are always going to be a quota of people just plodding. But there are also going to be a quota of people just going, no, I want to move and shake and change and make the world a better place. And like Malcolm X said, inequality is inequality. And I did term the phrase inequality tool. A piece of metal that has the potential to kill or harm someone is an inequality tool if brandished by a person, uniform, culture, civilization, whatever. It's shit. And we enable it, we facilitate it, we allow it, we fund it. We ain't got a choice, have we? So we think. But then lots of people come along like Richard Brown saying, look, if everybody didn't do it, then we didn't do it. They'd have to sit up and listen. But we still got Robot May walking about on stage, parading like a fucking twat. And you still got Loose Women and going, oh, yes, I think it's quite fun saying you can't dance. If the world had a heartbeat and a rhythm and a sound, it would be going... And the only noise you'd be hearing was constant throwing up, that the fact that people don't stand up against people that really have no vision. Because if you allow in the pyramid structure inequality, you're as good as allowing the tyranny on the streets. If you allow a curse to persist, the mentality of your being and psyche and society and civilization as the Western world we're supposed to lead. UK has a piece of land in every part of the world touches. We might have been wankers in the past, but allow it, get over it, and look to a place like Ireland where there's a pub in every culture and they're allowed because they're neutral. We don't want tyranny. We don't want dicks. You're free to live your life in whatever way you want. Like I said, the church used to, clamp down on the pagan wild ways, and it's done a good job in civilising people. And we're not talking about reversing that work. We're talking about being free, but keeping your check on the fact that tyranny is alive and kicking, in the fact that the laws, if we're living in the free world, there's There's fucking drugs everywhere. There's drugs everywhere. So the rainbow and the free means, well, what are you going to abuse now? Oh, because establishments, we've got all the pubs everywhere, which established the fact that things get sketchy and no one can check out their own CCTV footage. The use of narcotics that are readily available. I know this because the neighbour downstairs used to have them. She moved out when I scared her. But, I should have went to the police. But at the time, I'd become, get assaulted by them and you don't get any straight answers. You're just a bit like, tend not to go to them for help anymore, which is really sad. I am due lots of compensation, but then when people look at it, they go, oh, why should I work or evade tax? I've been making like less than £1,000 a year for the last 3 years. I don't get working tax credits. I haven't got any rebates. I'm pretty much like you'd call me. I could be probably the most impoverished house person going as far as my own funds go. But I needed a massive fat time out because I put a lot of thought into this stuff. This stuff that made me feel like an endangered species. For, there's a lot of people out there in the arts world that go about trying to stand up against arms and inequality, and like when there's arms dealers and tramps in town, and they bust open even advertising spaces with all these special tools, and they put in the day that they're going to be at the Excel Centre, and they'll tow up people, and people all over the globe get involved in that. But it's a little known fact, and they're in temporary squats, and they make it feel dark and shady, like it's dangerous. Maybe to get people excited about it, but there's not enough stuff in the mainstream media about it. Social media has got the ability to change that, and that's why Trump talks in a way like, we'll take away your media. Because the truth is, paying taxes is an option. If they don't, 100% transparency funding weaponry. Like I said, when I got arrested after a protest, it seemed like they'd amalgamated all existences and put religious, racial, aggravated harassment in words and writing. And this is a basic drunken disorderly. When I'm walking down the road, making my way home, this policeman in my ear starts harassing me, and they just flipped it all around. And I said, well, where does writing come into that? I was standing next to someone with a sign that was saying "cunt off, cunty cunt bag," which was about Cameron at the time. It was nothing to do with me. None of it. It was like I just responded proportionately. It's just beep, 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 beep. It doesn't matter what words I used. I'm used to working in security where we use descriptive words. I see 3, I see 1. So what's wrong when someone's doing a crime against you of actually pointing out a descriptive word and then adding an expletive art after it if they're threatening you with your liberty? It's just simple truths, And talking like this, people go, that's very brave of you. Yes, I'm very brave. I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't like inequality, and I'm a bit more advanced than you. My name ain't Malcolm X and other these people, they faced lots of shit in there, but we're supposed to be living in the fluffy white clouds of rainbow land, aren't we now? We're also soft. We're also soft. And hip-hop is slow, progression is slow, and what I propose is something that will change the face of the planet and inject society, community with a whole lot of love and a whole lot of opportunity. Farming is such an honest trade and such a good job that has always, throughout the whole of existence, ancient cultures, modern cultures, stabilised. You just don't need fucking sacrifices. We're not living in Peru. We don't want fucking child sacrifices or any of that shit. There are some sort of subcultures that suggest that religions and other dark forces are about that actually do use that shit still to maintain their power. And I won't put it past them. I mean, forced adoptions, this is what I plan on stopping with ArrivalPrime Power to the People Time. Just a brand that's out there as a social worker with the distribution of wealth. Because if I can't have any faith in musicians and people like Drake and God's Plan and distribution of wealth, and the fact that all these rich people like Ellen or Maroon 5, girl like you, who can put that out there and actually have a practical, will design based social work franchise on wheels, there's a port of contact through taking out corruption and a public domain platform that can expose all that shit. Because I think it comes to a point when you're like, why is darkness pervading my life in the form of women's tragedy, or telling me stories about this or that, or being beaten on their hospital bed and having their kids taken away? Why is this pervading my life? Why is this still going on? Why has my life got to be daunted or clouded by that? It's my path. Okay, right, I must have the ability and skills, and I've connected all the work dots by working at